Hi, I'm Jim Boudet from Austin, Texas in the USA. This lesson is for week 6 of the Coursera course Introduction to Music Production. In this video, I will demonstrate how to configure modulation on a vintage Moog Prodigy synthesizer. I've been looking forward to this lesson because it gave me an excuse to pull my Moog Prodigy synthesizer out of the closet. The Prodigy is a classic analog synth with 2 voltage-controlled oscillators, also called VCOs. A voltage-controlled low-pass filter called a VCF, and a voltage-controlled amplifier called a VCA. The Prodigy has several modulation sources, including the keyboard, a low-frequency oscillator, an LFO, a pitch wheel, and 2 envelope generators, also called ADSRs. For the first demonstration, I'll be showing you different configurations that can be used to modulate the VCOs. The keyboard is hardwired as a modulation source to the VCOs. The keyboard produces a voltage that increases or decreases at 1 volt per octave. Playing higher notes outputs a higher voltage, which increases the frequency of the oscillators. The LFO can be routed to the VCOs as a modulation source. This routing can be turned on or off by the oscillator mod switch. You have control over the modulation frequency, waveform, and amount using the modulation wheel. There is also a pitch wheel that can be used to increase or decrease the voltage being applied to the VCOs, which has the effect of raising or lowering the pitch. Now let's watch the demonstration. For the second demonstration, I'll be showing you different configurations that can be used to modulate the VCF. In all these examples, it's the filter's cutoff frequency that's being modulated. We saw that the keyboard is a hardwired modulation source for the VCOs. The keyboard is also available as a configurable modulation source to the voltage-controlled filter. The amount of modulation is controlled by the filter keyboard tracking switch, which can be set to off, corresponding to no modulation, half, meaning a modulation amount of 1/2 volts per octave, or full, meaning the full 1 volt per octave that the keyboard produces. Similar to the VCOs, the LFO can be routed to the VCF as a modulation source. This is controlled by the filter mod switch. The LFO's frequency, wave shape, and modulation also apply. For something a little different, we also have an envelope generator, also known as an ADSR, as a dedicated modulation source for the filter. The Prodigy's envelope generator is a simplified ADSR with only 3 controls. A single knob controls both the decay and release parameters. There is also a release switch which sets the release time to 0 if off, or to the value of the decay release parameter if on. Because of this simplification, the quark envelope demonstrated in the class lecture can't be reproduced by the synthesizer. On to the demonstration. For the final demonstration, we'll look at the sole modulation configuration for the voltage-controlled amplifier. Similar to the VCF, we also have an ADSR hardwired as a modulation source to the VCA. This envelope generator has the same features and limitations as the one for the filter. Let's watch the demo. As you saw, the Prodigy supports the required amplitude envelope and pitch LFO modulations. Although this synth was designed for high volume and low cost, it still provides a wide variety of modulation configurations. This concludes the demonstrations of the modulation features of the Moog Prodigy synthesizer. I hope that I managed to effectively show the various modulation options available on this vintage analog synth. Thanks for watching.